Hey, this is Rachel. I am back in my greenhouse and we're going to plant some seeds. So right now, you can't see it, but we left off yesterday. It was raining super hard, so I don't think you guys could hear me, but we planted some cucumbers, some eggplants, gourds, ground cherries. They're similar to tomatoes, but they're sweeter. And then some kale, kohlrabi, and some, and we started some peas. I don't know how well the brassicas are going to do because they're supposed to be started 8 to 12 weeks before your first frost. My first frost, I'm gardening in zone 9A or B, and I'm in the southern coast of Mississippi, so I don't know how well that's going to do because they only have 4 weeks before, they get too big. And anyway, but if you don't start them, you'll have 0% chance of it working. So if it works, awesome. If not, it will. Anyway, we're going to continue with the peas. And I have sugar magnolia tendril peas. You can see they look pretty cool. So, you know what? I wanted to do a couple more. I realized that I wanted to freeze some peas and then try and can them because I really like peas. And so I'm using, Haas Tools, Mr. Big P. I don't know if you can see it yet. Mr. Big P. And these are from 21. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 per cell. This is 162 seed cells in 1 tray. And I've heard that it's actually better to soak your peas beforehand. I should have time for another whole planting of peas, and then next time when I have a little bit more time, I will try putting these in water first. Alright, so now the sugar magnolia tendril peas. And what I do before the season starts so that I can kind of check on my inventory, order plants or seeds that I know that I want to if I'm running low. I'll go through all of my seeds and go ahead and do these little labels. I get these for there's 1,500 or maybe 500 of them for, it must have been 500 for $15 or something like that. Really good price. They're cheap, they're plastic, so if you don't want to use plastics, then don't use these. But if you use I've tried a bunch of stuff. I've tried corks on skewers. I've tried not ice cream sticks, but popsicle sticks. I've tried those. The popsicle sticks bleed really bad, and the skewers, the corks, the Sharpie came off. So I don't know. I think I like that one the best, but okay. So back to the sugar magnolia tendril pea. So I just wanted to add something. I actually just learned that there is a UV resistant marker that you can buy, and that would have saved me so much time and energy because I will say some of these little markers, they're the most durable I find out in my garden, and I live in the south, so the sun beats down really hard, but against the black plastic landscape fabric that I use in my trellis garden, I will say, I think it's the heat from that in the heat of the summer caused these to turn black. So I'll have to mulch over the top of those this season and make sure that it's not exposed. But the UV resistant marker will also help me to maintain positive identification of my plants. So that's one thing I wanted to add. You're always learning something. And I was watching my gardener the other day, and he was talking about how he has the marker and some of the mistakes that he's made, and he's like, man, this is this is worth every penny, and it's only a couple bucks. So I will be investing in that, but I didn't get to it this season. So maybe the next time I start a batch of seeds. having the tags pre-written out, it is really helpful. I'll just do one for every single seed packet that I have. And if I don't want to use them, then I don't have to. But if I want to, then it makes it super easy and fast. These Texas cream peas, they look like, I guess, cow peas. Let's see, these are like field peas or something. I don't know if I'm supposed to sow these direct sow. I think you are, but whatever. We're gonna go ahead and try it. One, two, three. Okay. And because these are going to be a canning item, and I think these are bush variety, I'm pretty sure these are bush variety, I'm going to go ahead and sow several of them. And I think with most bush variety beans or peas, you want to direct sow, but I'm going to go ahead and try it like this because my beds aren't ready. They're not weeded yet. So they're just little bitty seeds. Okay. I wonder if soaking your beans first is preferable as well. I think I just direct sowed my beans the year before last and they were great. I didn't even bother beans last year, but I don't want any empty space in my garden this year. And I have, it's kind of a weird layout, but I live on like 1.33 acres of land. And so it's a really big area, and my house is on the front corner. So I have a lot of space around my house. But the garden, I have like the front yard, which is just a little bit by the street. Then I have that's partitioned by a privacy fence, and then there's like a little backyard area for the dog. Call that the dog yard. And then it's gated in around that. Before we had the privacy fence up, we wanted a gated area for him to run around. So yeah, there's the gated area, has the chicken coop and the garden in it. And I've been slowly clearing the backyard. We had a guy come in and actually mulch. I don't know, about a year ago. Anyway, he did what he could, and bless his heart, because he was great. He took down as much as he could, and that was wonderful. But there was a lot of older trees that needed to be cut down, and somebody stole my gas-powered chainsaw off the back of my porch. I don't live in the best part of town, but it's weird. I live in it's not the worst either. I live in a city. I live in Gulfport, that's about a mile off the beach, and it's in a little area. I don't know. It's older though. It's a 1905 house, so they've kind of forgot about the neighborhood. Then they started building up on it again. I like it. I mean, like I said, I got almost an acre and a half in the city. It's kind of crazy. So. All right, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think 8. Okay. So what is this? Okay, so I'm back to the beginning with the Langston Progress peas. That's what I started with. So for peas, we have Langston Progress, Magnolia Tendril, or Blossom Tendril, Mr. Big Pea. We're trying that for canning. The Sugar Magnolia Tendril pea, and then the Texas Cream 40 pea. And then these are the peas that I saved from last year when they started to I had really good intentions about separating them, and I kept them in little coffee filters to dry out. But to be honest, they kind of all just got pushed together in this bag. So we're gonna have a mess around and find out pea section. So I'm gonna call it WTH. What the heck? Peas. And I don't know what they're going to be. I like doing stuff like that, so ha. So I know with lettuce, it does really, the seeds are so small that you want to have lots of vermiculite or something very light on the top, or kind of throughout the mixture. Obviously they like lots of water, so the vermiculite and perlite are the little white foamy thingies, and the really light shiny stuff you see inside the soil. So the perlite and vermiculite just act as a water retention agent, and it's an additive to your soil. So for heavy clay, it helps to aerate the soil and break it up. Whereas for my soil, which is very sandy, it helps to retain some of the water that wants to leach out. I have spinach here, and I kind of want to see if I can seed start it like this. No, that's not preferable, but usually you want to get like a flat, like a little cup, or like an old tray of like grapes or something like that. Put some soil in it, and then you'll make sure it's got lots of vermiculite, and then you just kind of lightly sprinkle those little tiny seeds on top, and after you wet it, and then put the seeds on, and that should do pretty well. And after they start to germinate and they come up and you have little baby seedlings, you can do what they call is prick them out. And you take like a pencil or something, and you very lightly take each plant and insert it into one of these cells, or you could do your 338 cell. Oh, for 22. Okay, you know what, we're just gonna go ahead. I like spinach. I want to make sure that I'm not planting too much lettuce and spinach or leafy stuff at the same time, because it's just my daughter and I, so I don't want to plant too much and then have like this abundance that I can't really do anything with. I guess I could sell it at like a farmer market or something, but do 2 a cell just to ensure we have germination. If you have very viable seeds and all of them come up, then you don't have to keep them all. A lot of people will pick the hardiest plant and they will pinch off the rest. And then they'll, if you wanted to, you could obviously keep them all and pot them out. You don't want to let them get too big inside of that seed cell start, because they're going to compete for nutrients and they'll end up being deficient and not as hardy as they could have been. So go ahead and move them out to their own individual pots. But just know that you can thin them out by pinching them all the way down to the roots. Okay. And spinach is cool because you can freeze it. I'm surprised, these are actually like fairly large seeds. And that was Bloomsdale long-standing spinach. I'll come out to my greenhouse when it's raining. These are interesting. This is Malabar spinach. Malabar spinach, red Malabar spinach, is really an interesting, really beautiful, like whimsical vine. And it does really well in the summertime, so it's extremely heat tolerant. and it's supposed to be super prolific, meaning like it just grows incredibly. Malabar spinach is a vine, so keep that in mind. I'm starting a ton of different vining plants because I have 16-foot cattle panels in long rows, and they're double. I have 2 per row, and I have 8 rows, and I think I have like 25 more that I need to put up. So I have plenty of space. Those I actually do for the tomatoes, but I'm planning on doubling the garden space this year, so we'll see if I get to it. But you do want to keep that in mind. Also, one of the things that I think is funny is I have all this, dog wire fencing and stuff around this little backyard, and it's the perfect thing to like grow your berries and stuff on. So I'm gonna try and do that. I just bought some berry plants, some raspberries and blackberries I just picked these ones up over at Sam's Club when I was there. I really like their bulbs and stuff. But I'm gonna try and just grow that off of the fence line because I can, and I think it'd be good to establish them there. But I had this puppy, I had this dog. She passed away, but she would eat every single berry bush that I bought. And I think, was it the year before last, I must have bought like 12 different berry bushes, and I would just find them in the backyard, tore up. It didn't matter like how much I put around it. She would dig underneath it. She liked to chew on the roots, so mind that. Keep going back and forth whether or not I should just go ahead and plant some rutabaga or just directs of those. I think I'll wait and directs of those. But we can go ahead and start on tomatillos. Yeah. So this year, I didn't make, okay, before we start, I'm going to make labels for these, but I'm going to show you all the cool kinds that I have. I have yellow, purple, these are more purple, the Rio Grande. That's what I used last year and it was fantastic. Super Verde, Toma Verde, and just Verde. So when I label, I like to do the top part as like what it is. This is tomatillo, and then the bottom I'll put the variety. So there's a Toma Verde. We'll just try all the varieties. This makes me so happy to see the little tags. Two. And tomatillo seeds are so tiny. I don't know that I'll be able to showcase them. Oh, shite. Oop. I know it's stupid, but I don't like wasting stuff. Oh well, okay. These I'm just gonna have to surface soak because they're so little. So I'm just dropping them on, just gently covering up the dirt on top of them. Alright. So again, I'm doing 2 seeds per cell. For purple. Rio Grande. They're so little that two barely cover like a fourth of the bottom of a Sharpie. Rio Grande. Here we go. And like I said, these will actually produce a lot, but I know that I'm going to be doing salsa and canning lots of salsa this year. So I did just a little bit last year, and if you're going to actually like meal prep and do like, you know, enchiladas or anything like that, it's good to have that homemade sauce on hand. I have zero storage at the moment. Like I have those silver metal racks that you can get, and that's what I'm using for canning. I have zero cabinets in my house, and it's a 1905, so I've been renovating it slowly. That's one of the projects this year after I get the electrical, run the electrical and plumbing and insulate. There's zero insulation in the house, so run that over the top of that and then cover it up from the outside. So you have to take off the siding of an old home because it's lap-sided wood on the inside. You don't have to, but it would be a pain in the butt, and I do like to showcase that, how beautiful that lap-sided wood is inside the house. It's a nice feature. So Tomo Verde. A lot of people don't like these. They like to start in their larger, like 2" by 2" by 4" pots. I'll show you. Well, these are smaller. These are like 2" by 2". But they like to go ahead and start them off in these, and that's fine. You can see there's holes at the bottom, but that way you don't have to transplant these. At Potom, they have the times that are little until they get probably big enough to go ahead and be put outside, just by using these. So if you want to do it that way, you're welcome to, but this way you get a ton of different seed starts all at once, and I like that. I bought the trays from Haas Tools, and I have 5 162 cell trays, and then I have 1 338 cell tray. Super Verde Tomatillo from Haas Tools. I only need 4, and there's 50 seats in here. It's crazy. Again, you want to sow multiple seeds because of the viability. So in case one doesn't come up, you know that you have a greater likelihood of the other one. But yeah, these are. It says asparagus. I think these got mislabeled because it says asparagus, but asparagus seeds are like little bitty black things. They are about 3 times or 4 times the size of an onion seed, which is about the size of a pinto. So they're very small seeds. This is not small. This is a bean. Oh, but look, they're sprouting. See it? Oh, please, little phone. Oh, there you go. Come on, man. You see it sprouting in the center? I don't know how to focus this. I'm really sorry. But there is a little tiny sprout right in the center. There we go. Anyway, so stoked. So whatever they are, if they're beans or if they are, yeah, man, that's so cool. Okay, so I do think this just goes to show you that I put these into the refrigerator. It's called cold stratification. You take your seeds, you put them in a wet paper towel, not too wet, but completely saturated, and with your marker so you know which one it is. And then anything with like a very strong casing on the outside, beans are completely dry. So just like I was saying about the peas, I'll go over the peas and I'll completely saturate their cell so that it can completely absorb it, because they have to rehydrate first, and then they start to open. Okay, we are back. So we are gonna start some flower seeds, and we're starting in the 338 cell tray. And my bun kept getting caught in my hoodie. It was annoying. Okay. Meh. That'll do. Okay, sorry about that. If you hear a little prancing, it is the cat on the roof. So never mind that. Alright. What are you doing, Fleas? Fleas! Kitty cat. Oh, you can see the little paw prints there, so cute. Okay, so the first seeds that we're going to start are sweet pea little sweetheart. I'm super excited about these because sweet peas have a super significant smell. Like they have a great fragrance, and I purchased a lot of these different seeds from, I want to say botanical gardens or something like that, and they're fantastic. Almost every single one is germinated, and I'm super stoked. So I already started several of them. You want to sow them twice as deep as they are tall. So I'm just so excited because they actually started to germinate, and I left them, so I put them in, it's called cold stratification, when you emulate what you're doing in the winter. Or what happens to natural seeds in their natural environment. You're doing it inside your refrigerator. You're putting them in a wet surface on a damp cloth, a damp paper towel, and then you're wetting them so that that outside casing softens and the inside rehydrates, and then they start to germinate. It sends the enzyme to the seed and says, hey, it's time for you to go. Okay, so anyway, here we go. I'm just gonna drop these little guys in. And I am trying to make it so that the sprout is on the bottom, but as they fall, that might change just a little bit. And then I'm just gonna gently cover them. The only thing I'll say about these trays, these seed starting trays, opposed to like the 2x2 larger individual pots, the 2x2 pots that you do that set inside of a little tray, inside of a watering tray. When you use these, you have to kind of push up from the bottom. So if the roots are already coming out, you can damage them. But I like to, when it's ready to take them out, I'm ready to take them out. Shoot, did I put? There we go. When I put them in here and when they're ready to come out, I'll take the we'll take the tag and I'll use this piece to kind of press around the sides and move downward so that it loosens it up. That way the whole thing can come out, and if they don't, if it doesn't come out easily, I will lift the tray up and take something small and push it up through the hole in the bottom. But again, if it's already started to grow roots, which it should have, then you don't really want to mess with those. All right, so I'm gonna just label this first one, and then everything after that I know will be the same variety, and we will just continue all the way down. And I'm using a little grease pencil, and I will do my next variety starting here. So how many was it? 1, 2, 3, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That is quite a lot. Let's see if I can show you. Oh, you little stinker. Can you just barely see the little tails on these guys? Let's see if I can bring it up closer. There we go. Ooh, don't run away. Anyway, so these little guys have germinated, and these are sweet peas. This is sweet pea mammoth blend. I'm so stoked that this worked so well. And again, I'm taking their little tails and I'm just dropping them in so that those go first. I'm gonna make sure that I have all my sweet peas first. Okay. Here are all of our sweet pea mixes. I may have gone overboard. That would have been 3, 6, 9, 10 varieties. No, yeah, 3, 6, 9 varieties of sweet peas. However, I don't have any kind of like fragrance rich plants in my garden, and I don't have any perennials outside of one patch of dahlias. So this year we are going to incorporate a lot more of the smells, the colors, and we're going to get those pollinators into the garden. If anybody outside of my family ends up watching this, what are you guys planting flower wise in your garden? And if any of you live in the South, what is super prolific that you will grow either annually every year, or that you like it's mandatory, it has to be in your garden perennial? I really was trying to do lots of perennials because I always have a million projects and chores, and I think that's just how this life goes. But I wanted to make it so where it's kind of like eventually it'll be self-sustaining, or at least like it'll be started, I should say. I would like to try soil blocking next year. Even though I have these trays and they're lovely and they're wonderful. I got these from House Tools. This one, like I said, is a little difficult to get them out of your seeds. And just, it's great to start a large sum of plants all at once. And it takes up a lot to just, you need to get them like started. It's great. It takes up a lot less. It uses a lot less soil than it would be to do the 2-inch pots or whatever. But eventually you're going to have to up pot and quickly, because these will run, these cells are so small. They're only meant to basically start your transplant, because it'll run out of space for your roots really quickly. So that was Perfume Delight. Now we're going to do Early Multiflora Blend. So the Early Multiflora Blend had great germination. Take my little root. You see it? I don't think you can see nothing with these nails. There's just a little bitty tail in there. And I'm going to try and put that downward. Don't want to break it either. And there, little fella. I'm using the end of this like a little dipper. I think it's DIBBER. And a dipper is just a piece of wood that has like a pointed end and like a handle usually. And you set it in and it's like kind of rounded and then goes to a skinny tip so that it, like the hole kind of comes down to a point. So when you drop the seed in, it can come up and flare up. I'm so excited to see how these do. Oops. I was watching a lady who does cut flowers for a living in Colorado. I think it's Blossom and Branch Farm. And she's such an inspiration. She's a single mom out there, and you should see how many flowers she starts. Wild, and she has a wealth of knowledge. Super cool just to see people, oh man, see people work hard and achieve their goals. It's always super inspiring to see people start businesses too, because I just registered for an LLC so that I can actually start to sell some of these, like little plant cells, like plant start cells. So like say you have an excess, say that I have an abundance of these sweet peas that actually come up well, and I've got my entire garden sown and I don't need any more sweet peas. In fact, I should probably have looked at my chart to tell me exactly how many I needed to start, but that's okay because gifting is always great too. But we'll see. Anyway, she was saying that there was a lot of people telling her that the sweet peas were really difficult to start, and she was saying that for where she lives, because these seedlings need to cold stratify, that she just sets them like in soil blocks and then sets them, that sows the seeds and sets them outside, and then she doesn't have to touch them again until winter, or sorry, till winter's over. Where'd you go, little fella? Okay. Next one is going to be Elegance Blend, and you will start right here. Yeah, there are a lot of sweet peas. There's no way I need this many. Oh, I've already started the seeds, so I was thinking that the germination rate would not be that great. Haha. Wonder how much sweet peas will sell for. Maybe we'll have a plant swap or something. I have been jonesing to go to one of those. Every time they have it, I have drill in the military, and it's always on a drill weekend. But we just switched our schedule up, and so I'm really hoping that it's on an off month. We went to 3-day weekends instead of 2. So yeah, the only one so far that didn't do like exceedingly well on the germination, I think, was this Perfume Delight, which I probably could have doubled up on the seeds, but whatever. It's okay. Right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 seeds. Fill down. When I was in elementary school, I really did enjoy the experiments, but I was a super bad procrastinator and a perfectionist, which is like the deadly duo. So I would put so much effort into a project, but like only 3 days before its due date, I'd stress myself out, or a paper. Oh man, you don't belong in there. And anyway, I wish I could say that all of that's gone, but it's not. The procrastination part, I do try and trick myself now and just say, hey, you got to set a good example for your daughter, so you got to do it. But sometimes it gets the best of me. I will at least turn in like not my best work if I need to. I've been thinking about going back to school, and I'm terrified that it'll be overwhelming and I'll just drop out or, be nervous. Next one is Beaujolais. Beaujolais? Beaujolais. It's Jolas, Beaujolais, I think. Man, these did great germination too. To be fair, I did buy all these sweet peas last year, so they should have high germination. Oh, oh my god. Hey! The cat slipped. That's what you get for walking on there. Naughty thing. Their little paw prints are so cute. If you go too deep, it will exert a lot of energy trying to come up. Trying to do healthy, financially healthy, and abundance in the garden this year. Those are my goals. Alright, the next sweet pea bench is going to be sweet pea bouquet blend. It's really important that you sift well through your soil or your seed potting mix, whatever it is, that you sift through like a wire mesh or some way to get out all of those pieces of mulch that haven't finished breaking down. Because in something like this, if you get a large stick, it's gonna like take up the vast majority of the space in the cell, and your seeds won't do very well. Gosh, this germination's fantastic as well. That is nearly 100%, so I'd say 95% of them have already started to germinate. The other ones, I can see where the casing is starting to split, so I say 100% of them. So this is knee-high blend. Gosh. Sure didn't seem like a lot when I was putting the seeds into here. 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I think I may have started too many, but uh-oh. Alright, last sweet pea is high scent. Oops. Forget to cover these up. My alarm clock went off and it stopped the video. I'm just trying out to see if I like making videos right now. It's kind of uncomfortable putting it public. Pretty much a private person, so it's kind of weird. But I'm doing these because my family's always wanting to know like what it is I'm working on, or what I did this week, and sometimes I think maybe they want to just be included in that. And I know, like, for me, when I'm doing something that's just busying my hands, I need something to busy my mind with. I'll turn on like Roots and Refuge or some YouTubes and listen to them talk, and just like they'll be seed starting or whatever, and I'm picking up skills and different ways that people do things so that I can incorporate that into my gardening. And I figured, I've been doing this for I think 4 or 5 years now, and I am in absolutely no way a guru, but I am a gardener. I try a lot of different stuff out. I learn every single year. I don't know everything. I've tried various different methods at this point, and I'm still figuring out what I like to do and how. So, but the cool thing is you'll learn through other people's wisdom. Ooh, that was good. Soft. Anyway, so give yourself some grace if this is your first year starting. I hear some people, they get on here and they'll talk about how this is their first year and they have this massive, beautiful garden. And I'm like, and they look fantastic. And I'm like, man, am I scrubbed because I'm out here? And I do not look like that. It's not pretty most days. And my eyebrows are off because I've sweat them off. And, I don't know. It's rewarding for me because I will come out here for peace, but I also I am very nasty and sweaty, and the bulk of it is just maintaining. So I don't know. It is funny though, and what I'm saying is it's their first year gardening and they're doing fantastic. So if that's God's little trick, like some people just really do have that green thumb. I'm like, well, that would have been nice, but I'm just working with what we got. All right. I'm so tickled that all these germinated so well. This is the difference. And I really hope that the lavender, I've never been able to get lavender to grow. I had 3 different varieties. 100% germination. I lied. Oh, but he's about to. We'll call that 100%. I have not been able to get lavender to grow for me. It's supposed to do really well certain kinds down here in the south, and but I haven't been able to get the seeds to germinate. So this is going to be my year. God's going to bless me, and it's going to be a bumper crop, abundance, putting that out there, and it's going to be awesome. I really think I'm going to go ahead and sell some of these. I don't need this many plants. In fact, let me look at my little garden layout. Oh, this is the wrong page. That's why. I was like, that looks kind of barren. Here we go. Sunflowers, cosmos, dahlias, zinnias. Yeah, okay, so I need to do research on how many sweet peas to do in like a square foot. I'm also not doing these for cut flowers. I guess I could, but the intention was, I hope these are perennials. The intention was to grow these and have, again, the scent. I want to bring the pollinators to the yard. We got no milkshakes, but we got flowers. That is the end of the sweet peas. That was 1, 2, 3, yeah. This is Hollyhock the Watchman. Did you germinate? They did. These are just littlest guys. They're so interesting. They're like a little round disc. All right, now where are you gonna be able to see it? Oh, they're just so little, but they just have the littlest piece sticking out. Man, that's cool. Okay. I don't know why it took me so long to start flowers. It's my first real year starting flowers. I did dahlia tubers and stuff before, but I've just been trying so hard to learn how to garden like fruits and vegetables and stuff. And I have a 1905 home. I'm sorry if I'm wheezing. I have a 1905 home, and like all the systems have to be redone on it. So I've been doing that. And then life. Lots of life. I'm at that period though where I just want to chill. I just want to chill. And this is chill to me. It's such a cool feeling to grow your own garden. On this one, I am working with a seed called Marvel of Peru. It's a Jamaican native, and I've never had any luck growing it. There's a hard casing on the outside. I even tried busting one of those and then double seeding it. Unfortunately, nothing worked, and I didn't have any germination, so possibly old seeds, but no luck. There we go. So I have stock, snapdragons, echinacea. What are you? Kiss me over the garden gate. What is that? I can't remember what this is supposed to look like, but you're next. These look as tiny as asparagus seed. So the big holes that I made are unnecessary. think these are just starting to germinate. How cool is that? Okay. Maybe these will just be the most romantic thing I've ever seen. And I'll love it. And we'll do a coneflower. Yes, yes. Decent sized seeds. I'm wondering if I should just go ahead and do fast forward and do a whole bunch. Or do I go ahead and just talk you through it? I'll do a long video. It's already at 32 minutes, so. Besides, if you didn't want to watch it, you would just exit anyway. Just fine. Totally get that. Like I said, when I'm at home and I'm doing something, I sometimes just need noise in the background, or I'm folding clothes and I want to watch my YouTube people that I subscribe to. And it's Acre Homestead and Roots and Refuge. The lady from Colorado now. What, baby? What? Don't yell at me. Yeah? Loudest cat I've ever met in my life. Yeah, you. Yes, ma'am. You don't even care that I have dirty hands. You just want me to touch you. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Don't you do it. Don't you do it, kitty. Yeah? To be fair, I did start way too many seeds. However, like I said, maybe I can recoup the time and some of this for selling them for cheap at the farmer's market. The plants went, oh, grr, get out of here, cat. Dang it, I don't know if I did that one or not. Don't you do it, kitty. Don't you do it, kitty. Don't you do it. Don't you step on this. I'm getting you filthy. Okay. Hey, hey, hey. Alright, this is White Swan Echinacea. Again, that was Purpurea. Alright. Last Echinacea is Paradiso Mix. So, excuse me. What am I doing? We're in Echinacea Paradiso Mix. And yes. I've only done one, I think. I'm going to do 3 in each cell. So that was the Paradiso mix. I realized what I had done. I think this must have been one of the first ones that I started when I was trying the cold stratification different technique. I had 2 different kinds of echinacea, and instead of putting them in 2 different into 2 different cells, I just did this, and I just folded it in half and then put some more in there. So very strange. All right. Yes, sir. What, Ginger? What is it? All right. These are tiny seeds. These are very decent seeds. No, these were snapdragons, and snapdragons were small. Okay, these look about the same size as tomato seeds. And in tomato seeds, you put about 2 to 3 in each cell. So that's what we're going to do. That's a lot. What is this one? Anytime, oh, excuse me, this is a stock, so anytime stock mix. That's what this is called. All right. And just like tomatoes, you're going to surface sow. This is stock Sissy Shades of Blue mix. So I'm about to start another cell or another tray. I have 5. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do 5. The only problem I foresee is space. Because I may need to order another grow light, which is kind of exciting. Maybe even several more grow lights, but yeah. I mean, I don't know, if some of these are perennials, maybe I don't need to buy more, but that's not true. I'm gonna buy more. I should have enough to just barely cover, like maybe I could put 3 this way and then 2 this way. I don't know. I'm gonna buy more, but I wanted to show you how many different seeds I'm starting. And I do have a large garden and I'm expanding. So I haven't started melons or pumpkins or squash. I have a lot of those, but squash you succession sow because the squash bugs eat the holy mess out of it. The reason I'm about to start another tray, possibly, well, two, is because I haven't started any of those, that my herbs, or, yeah. Oh no, I still have all these. Poop. These are my flowers. So I do have some herbs that needed to be, what's it called? That I need to throw in the fridge. So I'm sorry, I'm tired, so my brain's not working. Some chamomile, catnip, snapdragons, delphinium, violas, marshmallow, hyssop, feverfew, St. John's wort, strawberries, and lavender, and honeywort, and delphinium. So anyway, I have these herbs, pepper, tomatoes. I tell you what I might do is I'm going to definitely start the other two trays, so I'll go ahead and sift out the stuff. And I'm going to direct sow the beans, but another two trays should be, one tray should just be for tomatoes and peppers, and then the other tray can be for the rest of this stuff. I don't know, that was a lot. I'm definitely going to have to buy some more lights. Okay. Some of these, though, I do like some of these herbs. I am going to start in little cells, so I'll get those out. I was talking about, excuse my dog, but when I was talking about perlite, you can see they're really light. It's like, looks like little styrofoam pieces, but I can squish it. That's what absorbs the water, and why this is great in seed starting mix, because it'll hold it and slow release the water. It also is large, and so it creates, it doesn't let all of the peat moss and everything stick together, so it like helps to aerate the soil. Okay, got my tray. I might do this. Move my seedlings and stuff so I don't get wet. I'm gonna wet down my soil and then put it in here. So I'm gonna start with that. Well, all right. You don't want it to be sopping. You just want every bit of the soil mixture to have water in it so that you can pick it up and only a couple bits of water come out when you squeeze it. Mix this up really well. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, so I'll pick it up. Just a couple drops. Okay. when you're doing your seed starting tray, you definitely want to make sure that you don't press too hard. You don't need them to be too compact because you need it to be soft for your roots to be able to go down easily. Okay. That's a good tray. Alright. You see how much fell through over here? There's a ton. That just fell through the little holes. I'm not going to waste a bit. Random staple. Okay. Now I get my tray. Go ahead and set it in it. I only have one more tray. I only have one more tray inside, and it's holding all of the peppers. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll do this tray tonight, and then I've got to get some sleep. And tomorrow we can do all the rest of them. We need to, later this week, I need to clean out the garden beds and weed the garden beds, weed eat around the garden beds, cut the asparagus down, use it as mulch, top off the beds, like fill them back up if maybe the soil, not declined, but when the plants actually use it, and with rain and everything else, the soil goes down a couple inches every season, so you have to replenish it and top fill it. So I did purchase a broad fork this year, and so I'm going to go through and very carefully aerate the soil, because initially I had purchased soil from what was an organic soybean field. So stupid. Because they use a lot of chemicals on soybeans, and that field was completely depleted of any life. It was like rocks, and it was horrible, and compacted as soon as I put it into the garden beds. And we put so much energy into building those. We had a friend who their back deck was being torn down so they could make a new one. And so we used the wood from that to build. Most of them are 14 by 4 foot garden beds. And we built 1, 2, 3, 4 over on this side. And then right after that, it's a whole bunch of the cattle panels and fabric, lawn fabric, and then irrigation underneath that. And then the greenhouse, and in front of the greenhouse there's 2 14 by 4s. And then as you're walking into the house, and like when you come into the gate, there's got to be like 20 something foot by 2 and 20 foot by 4 garden beds. So it's a lot of space. And there's little trellises over the garden beds and stuff like that. So I say all that to say there's plenty of space for these tomatoes and everything. So like I said, if I have excess of something, I'm just gonna let it grow along the gate, along the fence line, because why not? All right, I need to stop talking, and I need to go ahead. For the herbs, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some more little pots like this and fill them up. And then I'll take the seeds that are super small and I'll just go ahead and lay them on top, or like try and like dust them back in here. And then, yeah, just let them set. All right, so we're back. This is day 4. We started Tuesday, it's Friday, and we have gotten, delphiniums, honeywort, marshmallow, and moringa. All right, these were all really small seeds, that's why. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do for these violas, Johnny Jump Ups, these are flowers, little babies. Hey, they're sprouting! That's so awesome, so cool. Okay, so I'm gonna take my marker, put it in here, and then these are so little. I think I might put, shoot, that's gonna be too big. I think I might put 4 to 5 in here in a cell. They're little bitties. So this is gonna take me a while. So there you have it. We started several hundred seeds together, and this is a great start to the 2024 garden at Magnolia Homestead and Farm. I really appreciate your guys' time and anybody who stayed around to watch. I know this was a super long video, but seed starting does take time and it is well worth it, and definitely financially worth it. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video.